Good morning to you, good morning to you. We're all in our places with sun-shining faces. Oh, this is the way to have a good day. Hello, my sweet students. It is so good to see you again. We're back for another music class. We've got a very big lesson planned. We're going to sing through some scales. We're going to learn our new song. We're going to look at a new rhythm. And we're going to learn more about our composer of the month. So let's kick it off. Let's move on to those scales. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, si, la, si, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. Wonderful job, my friends. So let's move on to our song. I'm super excited about this one because it involves two holidays that are happening this week. Let's look at the calendar. So, if you look at the third week of April, where my little pictures are, on Wednesday, April 22nd, we have a holiday called Earth Day. You've probably heard of this one. This is when we focus on loving our Earth and thinking about what we can do for our Earth and just appreciating nature. Then, on Friday, April 24th, we have a holiday that's a little bit less known, and that's called Arbor Day. Arbor Day is all about trees, about planting trees and acknowledging what trees do for our environment every single day. So when I first saw these two dates on the calendar and realized how close these two holidays were, I thought it was kind of funny. Maybe I thought someone planned it wrong. It's only 2 days apart and they seem really, really similar. But I actually really like the way that it's set out. So Earth Day, if you think about it this way, is about loving nature, appreciating nature, thanking the earth for all that it does for us. And then on Arbor Day, we get to think about how we're going to contribute to the future of that nature and of our earth. So, for Earth Day, maybe you can take a walk through nature somewhere private with your family. Or maybe you could take a drive through one of our beautiful canyon roads. And if you can't do either of those things, maybe just take this time to be grateful for how beautiful the place that we live in really is. And here's my little challenge to you guys for Arbor Day. So I know for sure that this is not going to be the year that I'm going to plant a tree. I don't have the space, I don't have the planning, I don't know where I'd get a tree. I'm gonna challenge you to try planting and growing something. It could be super easy. Look at my project. These are some green onions I got from the grocery store. I don't want to go out and buy more, so I cut off the roots, use the green onions, put the roots in some water. I'm gonna put them on the windowsill, and by next week, I'll probably have some green onions to show you. So it can be just as easy as that. Just put some roots in some water, try and grow something. It's so rewarding, it can be super easy, and it makes you feel really good about yourself. Okay, so our song today is called Arbor Day. And it's all about planting a tree and watching it grow big and tall. So I'll sing a line and then you'll sing it back to me. The sunbeams are twinkling. The air soft and free. unto me. Come out, come out. We're planting a tree. Come out, come out. We're planting a tree. Good, so let's put that whole verse together. Just try your best. We'll sing it at the same time. 1, 2, ready, go. The sunbeams are twinkling, the air soft and free is telling a message to you and to me. Come out, come out, we're planting a tree. Come out, come out, we're planting a tree. Wonderful job! So, now we just have to take a look at that second verse. So, all the same melody, just different words. Though now it is slender, no taller than I, it soon will be growing. Straight up to the sky. A tree, a tree. That touches the sky. A tree, a tree. That touches the sky. Perfect! Now it's time to put it all together. So think about the most beautiful tree you've ever seen, perfect for climbing or sitting under or swinging under, and let's put it all together. 1, 2, ready, go. The sunbeams are twinkling, the air soft and free is telling a message to you and to me. Come out, come out, we're planting a tree. Come out, come out, we're planting a tree. Though now it is slender, no taller than I, it soon will be growing straight up to the sky. A tree that touches the sky. a tree that touches the sky. Alrighty, it sounds so beautiful. We're gonna move on to our rhythm example for today. Okay, so here's our rhythm chart. Feel free to pause here if you need any review, but what I really want to focus on is our dotted quarter note. So our dotted quarter note gets 1.5 beats. It'd be like if you attached a quarter note and an eighth note and put them together. So usually what you see is a dotted quarter note followed by an eighth note to make it round out to 2 beats. 1.5 beats plus 1/2 beat equals 2. So we're going to have one of these in our rhythm today. So let's take a peek. Okay, we've got a short little rhythm, but lots going on. So immediately what I want you to notice is the time signature, 4/4. That means 4 beats per measure, quarter note gets the beat. Go ahead and say it with me. 4 beats per measure, quarter note gets the beat. Good, so we've got immediately in the first measure a rest, a quarter rest. So I want to remind you that when we do our rests, we're going to put our hands out to the side, so we're not even tempted to clap through it, okay? I'm going to clap it, you clap it back to me, measure by measure, okay? 1, 2, and rest, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and rest, 4. Okay, so before we try it all together, let's just clap that second measure one more time. That's the one with our dotted quarter note in it, right? So, want to make sure that you're holding on the 2 and you're only going to clap on the and. Try it one more time slowly. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Good. Feel free to pause, rewind, and go through the slow rhythm again if you need to. But let's clap the whole thing together now. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, and rest, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, and rest, 4. Excellent. Okay, I hope you got it. Hope it all makes sense. Hope you clapped that dotted quarter note right. Hope you got all those rests. If not, the rewind button is your friend. All right, you guys are doing so great. We're almost at the end. We're going to talk about our composer of the month. So our April composer is Edvard Grieg. A little bit of review about him from last week. He is a Romantic era composer because most of his life was in the 1800s. He was born and raised in Norway and he lived most of his life there. He studied music in Germany. And he was an excellent, fabulous, beautiful pianist, and he wrote a lot of music for the piano. So when Grieg was studying music in Germany, he realized that even though he really liked the music of Mozart or Beethoven or all the other German composers that we've learned about in the past, he didn't want to make music that sounded like Mozart or Beethoven. He wanted to make music that sounded like Grieg. And to him, that really meant using traditional Norwegian music and instruments and folk tales in his music. So he moved back to Norway and started researching all of those different musical elements that he had grown up on, and he became the composer that we know today. So don't be afraid to follow your own artistic path. It'll lead you somewhere different for sure, but the different will be beautiful. So our listening today is from the Holberg Suite. We're going to be listening to the first movement. And this piece is called the Holberg Suite because Grieg wrote it to celebrate the 200th anniversary of the birth of a famous Norwegian writer named Ludvig Holberg. So he named it after him. And Grieg used different musical styles from when Holberg was living and that current era when Grieg was living. The piece is split into 5 movements, a prelude, which is kind of like an introduction, and then 4 Baroque dances. We're going to be listening to the prelude. 100 years before this composition was written takes us back to 1684. That's when that writer was born. And some of my very, very good music students will notice that 1684 would be in the Baroque era. So, Grieg pulled a lot of elements from Baroque music to put into this piece to celebrate this writer. So, with today's listening, the video is not going to be of the orchestra, the video is going to be of the music itself, the sheet music. So, I want to give you a little bit of a roadmap before we dive in. Let's take a look. So here are the first 4 measures of the piece. The first thing I notice is these kind of interesting dynamics at the top of each of the measures. So we see F, F, P, written in those squiggly letters. Those are our dynamics, and what it's saying is fortissimo piano. What that means is that it's going to be a really strong attack, and then they're going to get soft. So they're going to go dun da 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 da. It's fun, it's very exciting, and you're going to see that throughout a lot of this piece, a lot of this section. Now, let's take a look at what instruments we're using. Going from the top to the bottom, we have 2 violins, so same violins, they're just playing different parts. Then we have our viola, which is just a little bigger than our violin, but we still play it in the same way. Then we have our cello. That's the one that we play kind of between our legs. Then we have a stand-up bass, and that's the really big one that you have to stand up to play. So I have a question for you, of course. My question is, what family of instruments is this? Is it strings, woodwind, brass, percussion? Take a second to think about it. I'm going to put the answer on the screen in like 3 seconds. Boom! This is our strings family. I hope you all got it. If you got stuck, just remember, the strings family all has stringed instruments. So if you have to bow it or pluck it, that's going to be a stringed instrument. Good, so let's look at that rhythm up there. My older kiddos might recognize this as an 8th note followed by 2 16th notes. But even if you don't need to be able to recognize it to clap it because I'm going to help you. The rhythm that we get throughout this piece is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. So can we try and do that for the first 4 measures? 1, 2, ready, go. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Good. So it's really, really fun. It's quite quick. It makes you feel like you want to go faster. 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. The rhythm is really important to this piece. So if you are watching the screen as this piece is being played, you'll be able to see this 8th note, 16th note motion through most of the piece. So keep your eyes peeled. Last little bit of score study before we give it a listen. About 16 measures in, you're gonna see these 2 lines with the dots. After that, it's gonna go all the way back to the beginning. You're gonna be like, what? My screen messed up, but it did not. This is called a repeat sign. And what the repeat sign does is pretty much exactly what it sounds like it does. It takes you back to the beginning of the piece, or to wherever the original repeat sign was. In this case, it's going to be the beginning of the piece. So it's going to look like it restarted, just hang tight. It'll be back to that spot and it'll go straight through it the next time. All right, let's take a listen. And that's the opening movement of the Holberg Suite. I really like this piece. I think it sounds very elegant, but also exciting. Like maybe you're at a big fancy party and you don't know what's about to happen, but you know it's going to be exciting. So I hope you really enjoyed it. Alright, my friends, that is the end of our music class today. I hope you had a wonderful time. I know I did. I hope you have a wonderful Earth Day. I hope you have a wonderful Arbor Day. And I can't wait to see you again. There's only one thing left to do, and that is to sing our goodbye song. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Bye-bye, butterfly. I'll see you again next time. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Bye-bye, butterfly. I'll see you again next time. I'll see you again